Vader breath. Life is good. It's cold here in Sydney though. I'm all rugged up today. It's that bit nippy when you first wake up in the morning. But life is good. I hope you're well too. I've got like big socks on and a really warm cup of tea. So we'll get started probably in like 2 minutes. So if you want to sit in the normal way that you usually sit, you'll do that. Maybe you'll try something different today. I really like my sit bones being higher than my knees, and it just creates that opening. Oh, that's good. I'm glad that it's gorgeous there. It's actually nice here. Like it's quite sunny. I'll show you. It's quite sunny and beautiful. It's just that bit cold before the sun actually comes up. How do I show you? I'll do it. I can't see my screen now because it's I can't turn it, and then I have these little doggies out here. Tippies. Little monkeys. Okay, so we will get started. You'll find that position where, however you're sitting, your hips are higher than your knees. Thank you. I like them, but I'm a little biased. And that just creates the opening at the front of the hips, and it's that tip of the pelvis that helps to support the spine, especially the low back. And especially if you're tight anywhere, that is going to kind of give you leverage to sit up straight. And then you'll let your hands come down into your lap, and you'll take a couple of rolls with the shoulders. So we're just going to kind of move in our seat a little bit here as I explain the breath, and you can kind of sway from side to side and bring the shoulders into it, maybe bringing it into circles. And the Ujjayi breath uses the diaphragm and the full expression of the diaphragm, both contracting and expanding, to control the breath and create a little bit of a constriction at the back of the throat that just makes the breath a little bit longer. You'll switch directions if you were going in circles. And when the breath becomes longer, we're getting more oxygen, so it helps to energize us in a sense by stimulating the sympathetic nervous system, but it also stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for making us feel really rested and calming the mind. And so you're getting both. So you're getting that sense of calm, but with energy, which I always associate with doing yoga. So we're going to work with that. You'll come to find stillness. And you'll just soften your eyes here. And using your mind's eye, you'll just trace the distance from the base of your spine up to the crown of your head. Feeling that sense of length maybe in the two sides of your body. A sense of stability and grounding through your sit bones, of your palms on your knees or your thighs. I'm just taking a moment to acknowledge how you're feeling today. The breath is actually a really useful tool in giving us an idea of what's going on inside the mind. Sometimes if it's busy, the breaths are shorter or shallower, or when we're feeling calm, they're that little bit smoother. And whatever you've brought with you today, you'll sit in it and use this space, whatever it is, to explore the breath. There is no perfect meditation or yoga practice. It's the consistent practice of showing up to be with yourself, sort of no matter what is going on externally or internally. It gives us this depth of exploration. Body, mind, breath. You'll feel the natural breath here, in and out through the nostrils. Giving yourself a moment to just settle in and turn on that listening part of your mind, the observer, as though you're sitting watching yourself breathing. Noticing how each breath is different from the last. And being genuinely curious about the subtle effects of this breath on your body. And perhaps the even subtler effects of that breath on your mind. We'll come into our Ujjayi breath now. So what I want you to imagine is that you're constricting the back of your throat, and we'll take an inhale, just kind of constricting. And then open your mouth and really let the breath out slow, like you're fogging up a mirror. So we'll do a couple like that. Natural inhale. And on the exhale, you part your lips. And what I want you to focus on as we move through these is how soft you can let that breath be. So it's making a sound, but the actual breath isn't being kind of pushed out to make that sound. It's the constriction, and then it's like a really soft wave of breath that's coming out. So we'll take about 5 rounds here just to feel that. Inhaling through your nose. Open your mouth. Maybe noticing how slow you can let that go. Inhale through your nose. Mouth open. Just a couple more, and you can close your eyes and feel this. Awareness at the back of your throat. Perhaps noticing the diaphragm as it moves up and down with this breath. You'll fully empty your breath here. Take an inhale. Part your lips to release the breath again. And halfway through, close your mouth and continue through your nose. So it's that same sort of foggy sensation that you're creating. Inhale through your nose. Maybe keep your lips together this time as you exhale through your nose. Keeping that contraction at the back of your throat. You'll try 3 more like this. Inhale through your nose, just natural. Exhale, contracting. Fogging through your nostrils. And noticing 2 more rounds as you do this, if each breath is equal to the last. Getting a sense of the air moving down into the belly, the sides of the ribs, the back of the rib cage as you inhale. And on the exhale, a really soft gentleness landing in the body, shoulders melt. 1 more like this. This time as you inhale, you'll create that contraction at the back of the throat, and you'll imagine that sort of fogginess, but as you breathe in. And you'll try to catch it on the way back out too. A couple rounds just like this. Ujjayi in. Ujjayi out. Your own time, just breathing like this. This breath is said to sound a little bit like the ocean. I always think of it like the waves crashing on the beach. Each breath lapping in and going back out. So as you take a couple of rounds here, allowing it to become a little bit more natural. So it's with a gentle awareness, a soft focus on the actual skill or the how-to of it all. But with a little bit of flexibility, of freedom, of space to notice what it feels like and to be present with each round. This breath gives our mind something a little bit more tangible to anchor to. Your mind can sit here in the sound of your breath. And it's like a little soundtrack or a little mantra to your practice. Simplicity of the ebb and flow of a really long, generous, soft but powerful breath. You'll take just a couple more rounds here, seeing if you can keep that focus. And as you take these next few rounds, we'll add on just a little bit. So an option is to take the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth just behind your teeth, allowing the back teeth to part, noticing the spaciousness of your mouth. And while there's a contraction at the back of your throat, you're imagining a spaciousness at the back of the throat and maybe up to the brain. And as you inhale, you can imagine the breath swirling in and spiraling up that track to your brain, oxygenating, sending energy and peace there. And on the exhale, imagine it looping back through, traveling down the path of your throat to your lungs, and then sweeping back out your nose. That long inhale takes you on the journey up. And the exhale swirls you back out. If that feels like too much, you come back to the sound and the constriction at the back of the throat, and you stay there. You'll take 3 more rounds of Ujjayi breath. Fully empty this last breath, and then take a big breath in. Inhale through your nose. Fill all the way up. Part your lips and sigh it out. With your eyes closed, just take a moment to notice how the breath is here. Noticing if there's any subtle shift in energy. There doesn't have to be. It's just asking yourself, how does it feel now? You'll take your left hand onto your heart and your right hand on top of your left. And you'll just call to mind something that you're grateful for, something that's happened in the last week, a person or situation that lights up your life. Take a deep breath into that feeling of gratitude. And a long breath out. You'll bring the palms to touch at heart center. And in gratitude for this breath and the next one and the one after that, to each other and ourselves. Namaste. So thank you so much for sitting with me. That's a practice that you can bring into any moving or yoga practice that you do. It's quite supportive because it uses the diaphragm to expand and contract. It helps to support your core, which I'm talking about the front, the sides, the back of your trunk. And some of those muscles in your diaphragm insert to the same place that your hip flexors do. And so it really helps you to stabilize. It's a really grounding, calming, beautiful breath to come back to. And you can also just kind of use it as a mantra or as a place to sit when you're practicing mindfulness. It gives your mind a place to anchor on that's a little bit more tangible than just the breath as a sort of general expression. So hopefully that's useful for you in your practice. If you have any questions, please hit me up with a DM. I'll talk to you soon.